Konnichiwa, Crispy Akiyama, back to show you guys another video that I use as a full-time recording, mixing engineer, and producer. This one is the Make Believe Studios Mixhead. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you've probably heard of this plugin. You've probably heard people either love it or hate it. One of my favorite things about this plugin is that it forced people to have an opinion. I think as creatives, one of the worst things that can ever happen is you display some of your art or your creations and people are just lukewarm about it. I think when you can force an opinion, someone to either love it or hate it, at least they care. They care enough to have an opinion. So that's one of my favorite things about the Mixhead is how much attention was around it. And I think it was great from a marketing standpoint. However, we're not here talking about marketing. We're here talking about music. And so I'm going to show you guys how I use the Mixhead. So this is a digital tape saturation processor. Very simple plugin. How I personally use it, very similar to how I showed you guys in the Hazel Rig VLC. I use it on just about every channel except my my effects. Like I don't put it on reverbs and stuff like that. So this is towards the end of my chain. I know it shows all these plugins, guys. I don't use all these plugins in my chain. I just kind of have them here and not even in the order I would use all of these for video purposes. So I'm going to go over my chain. Don't worry about that, but just please don't copy this because this is not going to get you. This is not what I'm using. All right. At least not in that order or all those plugins at once. One of my favorite things to do that I've learned over the years is I like to boost high end going into a tape style processor because tape naturally has a roll off, and with that roll off it kind of softens and makes gentle that high end. So I keep this as the last plugin in my chain, I'd say like 90% of the time. And so typically what I do is where's that other plugin at? See, I don't even have one of my plugins I usually use. It's the Boost EQ Model N, and I'm gonna do a video on that. I like to boost the high end going into this. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna keep this mix wave plugin. If you guys saw the first video that I dropped, I use this on all my channels. So I'm gonna keep this on, right? And I'm gonna show you how I use this. Now, you have your input gain, you have your drive. From what I understand, these basically do the same thing. They just increase the gain going into the circuitry. This high HF adjust, high frequency adjust, I believe there is a, depending on what tape head or tape speed you use, there is a roll off. I believe it's around 15K for 15 tape speed. I'm not sure where it's at for the other ones. So this basically helps bring in some of that high end back that is rolled off naturally from the tape saturation process. And then you have output gain, bypass knob. So one of the things that I watched a video on is once this saturates, just kind of as I mentioned in the VLC video too, once you saturate past a certain point, you start soft clipping. And then from soft clipping, you know, you're removing transients or you're rounding off transients. And then it gets to a point where you're just straight clipping at a certain point. Now, as opposed to just straight clipping with Mixhead, it rather than going from straight saturation to soft clipping to just like hard clipping, I guess in a sense, it actually transitions into like limiting, like hard limiting, where you can really squash the sound. So I've never really pushed it there and kept it there. It could be good for creative purposes, but traditionally how I use this is I like to do a lot of corrective work, remove a lot of frequencies and fill those gaps in with saturation. I view corrective work as, you know, kind of creating potholes in the road to, you know, during construction, you're creating potholes, you know, so you can make the road even again. And so saturation is, I view as like a steamroller that goes over the road and just provides asphalt in all those gaps to make it even and consistent. So I take a lot of frequencies out here and there, small pieces by pieces, and then I'll go through and use a saturator to kind of help fill those gaps. And that's why I like to keep this towards the end, because tape is something that naturally just fills the gaps really well after doing, some reductive, corrective EQ. So I'm going to make sure that it's level matched, and we will bring this in and out.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and eating fruit, soaking sunsets, yeah. This the epitome of it. Why you wanna be an enemy of it? Freak magnet, you feel a little something? It only pull if you like how I'm coming. Can't have what you want when you running. Won't get what you need if you fronting. Won't get what you need if you lack, and you should be having. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Let's go through and play with the 15 tape speed now and listen to see what that sounds like. I'll switch it between the two tape speeds.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and eating fruit, soaking sunsets, yeah. This the epitome of it. Why you wanna be an enemy of it? Freak magnet, you feel a little something? It only pull if you like how I'm coming. Can't have what you want when you running.
Okay, so now let's actually sit and talk about this 15 IPS or tape speed. This is definitely creating some density. What I think about, like things that I listen for with when it comes to saturation and applying saturation, is I like to push things where I know I'm soft clipping, I'm rounding off transients. In other words, I'm squishing the sound. I like to do this as opposed to, like, I reach for saturators before I do compressors. And I like doing this, squishing the sound to kind of remove the dynamics and then slowly and gently bring it back up. And I want to be able to find that sweet spot during this process where I'm just rounding some transients off and I'm creating some density, but I'm not squashing it and just creating a ball of sound that can't be interpreted because it lacks transient energy. So I like this right here. Now I think it might be a little bit too much, so I'm just going to back off 1 dB. We'll level match and then bring it in and out.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious.
So that's 15.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious.
Cool. So now let's bring it in and out. And now one of the things that I also think about when I'm doing that saturation to kind of create some density but I'm also listening to the imaging aspect of things. Like, how low is the lowest part of my voice sitting in the stereo field, and how high is the highest part of my voice sitting in the stereo field? So that's a up and down. But then it's also like, cool, when I bring this plugin in and I bring it out, how far back is it relaxed into the stereo image, or how far forward is it jumping out in the stereo image? So I'm trying to think from that aspect. What's the lowest portion of my voice go? What's the highest portion? And then how forward or how relaxed back is the signal? So I want you guys to focus on that as we bring this in and out.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging the fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and eating fruit, soaking sunsets, yeah. This the epitome of it. Why you wanna be an enemy of it? Freak magnet, you feel a little something? It only pull if you like how I'm coming. Can't have what you want when you running. Won't get what you need if you fronting. Won't get what you need if you lack, and you should be having. Let's make it happen.
My bad, I got my window open, y'all. It's gonna be 102 degrees today, so I gotta keep it cool until that heat start. So what I hear is I naturally hear the vocal sit a little bit lower. Now, the vocal is sitting a little bit further back in the field, not crazy difference, but I noticed that it does drop a little bit. Now, that could be because at the 15 tape speed, there's naturally a low end bump. And so that low end bump is helping anchor the vocals a little bit more, which to me, it sounds good because it's helping it sit in a pocket a little bit better. And so with that low end bump, the saturation attacking those mids and helping it relax into the stereo field a little bit further back, but then also helping it anchor and create its own space in the mix. I really love this plugin for that. And now you see I don't have anything else engaged. All the corrective work I typically would do. So to me, it still sounds like the vocal could be cleaned up, but this is not a mixed song to begin with, and I have not touched any of my corrective work. So I use this plugin everywhere. It sounds great on the stereo bus. Matter of fact, I guess I can show you guys that real fast too, because I do have it on for this. Let's bring it in and out.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging a fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and need.
Cool, so I want you guys to focus on the low end. Let's listen specifically for the placement of the vocals and the strings together. Focus on the vocals and the strings, and then listen to, let me rephrase that, the vocal and the strings. Listen to the relationship. When I engage this, are the strings moving back and the vocals moving forward, or vice versa? Or do the strings sound wider? Do the vocals sound heavier? So I want you to kind of focus on the imaging aspect of things, okay? Next thing is, when I engage this, where is the positioning of the kick in the 808? Does it sound like it's raising up in the stereo image, or does the kick in the 808 sound like it's being anchored and falling lower in the stereo image? So focus on that. All right, here we go.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging a fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and eating fruit, soaking sunsets, yeah. This the epitome of it. Why you wanna be an enemy of it? Freak magnet, you feel a little something? It only pull if you like how I'm coming. Can't have what you want when you running. Won't get what you need if you fronting. Won't get what you need if you lack, and you should be having. Let's make it happen.
Cool. So one of the things that I hear is that rim shot becomes more up front. The vocals relax just a little bit further behind it. So it's creating some separation. I definitely hear that there is some space created around the vocals and the strings, which just allow them to articulate themselves a little bit better. I hear there's just way more weight and girth. I might not say a way more weight, but there is an added sense of weight and firmness to the kick and the synth bass. And I hear it's not like a full octave drop that you get something from something actually like the P455 that I'm gonna do a video on, one of my favorite plugins, by the way. But it definitely helps create a sense of positioning that was not there prior. Okay, so let's bring it in and out one more time.
Giving it free, my biggest mistake, started charging a fee and then raising the stakes. Minimum wages, I'm minding my business. You said that you want me, then show me you serious. All this game, your daddy never taught you that I'm coming with. Have you reading books and eating fruit, soaking sunsets, yeah. This the epitome of it. Why you wanna be an enemy of it? Freak magnet, you feel a little something?
Yeah, it's apparent. It's pretty apparent. So guys, this is the Make Believe Studios Mixhead.